Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a first look at this brand new Diamond Joe Johnson, who is obviously today's gauntlet reward here for Season 2 of NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. As y'all probably know, all you have to do, I say all in parentheses because, like, it's definitely take it with a grain of salt, but all you got to do is win 15 games in a row of Clutch Time Online to get this Diamond Joe Johnson card for free. The problem is that's going to be really, really hard for the vast majority of the community. Honestly, I think that's really hard for pretty much everyone. So definitely not going to be super easy to make sure to be able to get this card for free, but he is a free card who you can earn, and I will be making some videos later today on like how to get the card, how to raise your chances of getting him, and like what lineups you can use depending on what your budget is to give yourself the best chance at getting Joe. But before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 15,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I'd really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's take a look at ISO Joe Johnson. So Joe is 6'7" with a 6'9" wingspan, hot spots from 4 out of 5 spots outside the three-point line, 89 speed, 87 excel, 91 three ball, 80 driving dunk, 80 interior, 87 perimeter, 87 lateral, and 79 steal, 74 block. Overall, really versatile, good stats. You look at the badges, finishing badges are already very, very solid. He can't get every badge upgraded. His shooting badges are exceptional, and his playmaking badges are pretty good too. Needs speed booster added. That is definitely a badge you're going to want to look into adding on him if you can. Could also upgrade some things like blow by and unpluckable and dimer and things of that nature. Can add a break starter, an anchor, a brick wall, things of that nature as well. Defensively, he has gold clamp, silver challenger glove, interceptor, pogo stick, post lockdown, bronze ankle braces, pick dodger. I mean, he's got some pretty good badges on him. Definitely a guy who I think the main badges to add are like quick first step, dimer, break starter, anchor, and brick wall. Probably would be the 5 that I would recommend just off the top of my head. And I mean, he looks really solid all the way around. The one problem that I don't love is the release. Brandon Ingram base, Vince Carter upper. It's not an incredible release. It's a good upper, but that base is just not incredible. It's going to be a little bit slow and a little bit baited, and a little bit slow and a little bit baited. It's just not going to get the job done. Zach LaVine dribble style's pretty good, but he's got pro size up and normal escape. That's just not that great either. Movement wise, he's just not exceptional. He's fine, but he's not great. And a card like this, honestly, I would like to see be better than the 5th best shooting guard in the game. Because I'm looking at this Joe Johnson, and I can tell you all this right now. Number 1, he is not better than Paul George. No debate. Number 2, he's probably not better than Michael Jordan or Brandon Roy either. I would say that's probably not that close. And then, depending on how you play, he might not be better than guys like Devin Booker and Julius Erving and even a Corey Maggette who came out yesterday and other cards like that shooting guard position. You could make the argument with that release being pretty baited that he's not even a top 5 shooting guard in the game. And I mean, that's okay. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that he's I'm not sitting here and saying he's bad. I just think when you're the Gauntlet reward card, for example, this is a reward for a significant grind who is supposed to be very, very rewarding because 15 games in a row is not easy to do. This card is supposed to, just like with Chris Bosh, it was supposed to be like an accomplishment to get that card and kind of almost a flex if you got him, is at least what it felt like at first. This card is not really a flex because he doesn't really make most people's lineups, at least not the top lineups. He'll make a no money spent lineup better, but he's not like this insanely top tier shooting guard. There's no reason they couldn't have given him slightly better SIGs and a better release. I mean, I don't think it would have been that hard to give him slightly better SIGs and a better release. It's ISO Joe. Like, he was a scorer in real life. He should be able to shot create. He should be able to knock down shots at a high level. And right now, with the way the shooting is, with the patches and stuff, and then also with the way that his release is, you're just not going to be getting off very many threes with Joe Johnson. Obviously, the shooting badges are incredible. Honestly, the all-around stats and badges are absolutely phenomenal, but the animations just aren't. And that is one of the most important things about a card like Joe Johnson is being able to have really, really good animations. And that's just something that he just doesn't have. He needs a better release. He needs better dribble stakes, and those things are going to hold him back, especially because he's not like the best lock in the game and the best slasher in the game. Kind of like MJ. MJ has a spot on a lot of people's teams, even though he doesn't have a great release, because he's arguably the best perimeter lockdown defender in the entire game. And then he's also one of the best slashers and one of the most unstoppable slashers and dribblers also in the game. This Joe Johnson doesn't have as good SIGs as MJ. He doesn't move as well as MJ, and he doesn't defend or slash nearly as well as MJ. So in terms of just versatility overall, I don't think there's any debate between a guy like even a Diamond MJ and then Joe Johnson. I mean, they both have quote unquote baited releases, but I think this is an important distinction that you have to make. And I think Joe Johnson, he's fine. I don't think he's a bad card. I just wish it was a little bit better reward card because this is supposed to be pretty rewarding for a long, pretty intense grind. We'll have to see what the MyTEAM playbook's looking like and stuff like that. Hopefully, we're going to get another like D-Wade-esque event pretty soon. We're kind of in need of some grindable content for a free player. I feel like we're kind of slacking on that. Got some of it for the freaky stuff like a week and a half ago. But it's definitely time to come back around, I think, and hopefully get some more grindable free content for a really good card, kind of like that D-Wade grind in Season 1, because honestly, this gauntlet is a little bit disappointing, and that is not how I want 2K's content to go, because the gameplay has already gone disastrously bad. I mean, the gameplay went from, in my opinion, my favorite of the last couple 2Ks by far. I mean, I was enjoying the game in the Season 1 of 2K24 more than I did all of 2K23 in all likelihood, but from the gameplay, and then they patched it. It's completely ruined. You start not rewarding us either for grinding the game, and I mean, you think the player base is dead? It's going to really get dead. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this by 2K. I think they need to do a better job, honestly. Stuff like this needs to be better. Joe Johnson is not an incentive. He is not an incentivizing card to go spend 6 hours banging your head against a wall trying to go 15-0 in clutch time online. This card is just not worth that grind. I'm going to be honest. Don't kill yourself trying to get this Joe Johnson card. If you want him and you want to earn him and you want the flex of the Joe Johnson card, feel free to go ahead and get him. He's still going to be a great card. I'm excited to do gameplay with him. I'm excited to try him out. I know he's going to be good, and he's going to be fun to use. It's definitely that flex type card, but don't lose your mind trying to get this card. He's not worth it. He is not worth that type of stress. And I know people get stressed about 2K, especially with some of this win streak stuff. It is not worth that type of stress, especially for a card like this. So if you're the type of person, honestly, who does get a little bit more stressed out by this type of stuff and finds it a little bit easier, I'd say, to get frustrated at video games and things like that, this Joe Johnson grind just might not be worth it, to be honest, because he's just not that great of a card. I don't think it's worth any sort of mental stress or anything like that to try to get a card who's really not even like top 3 at his position, and that's just a little bit disappointing to me, to be completely honest. That's about all I gotta say, but I just don't love it. With that being said, I do think I have stared at this card long enough, and I think I've yapped my mouth about him long enough as well. So I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.